It's after 11 o'clock tonight, and I thought I'd take Charlie for a walk. He gets bored at the house, so I walk him every night. But I notice it's a little bit hard on him, but I still think it's probably good for him. But I was walking along thinking, maybe I'll tell you another interesting police story that involves dogs, and it was kind of something that came up in my life, now that Charlie's been diagnosed with 2 different types of cancer, lymphoma and mast cell. For those that aren't aware, Charlie was given 2 weeks to the maximum of a month to live, and this Wednesday will be the 1 month mark. Where are you going, Chucky? So, I was a relatively new cop, and I was working in Venice, California, right along the beach there. That's where I did my probation. And you don't have to be a cop for too long out there before you see your share of suicides and death. Come on, Chucky. So one day we get the welfare check call. Somebody in Des Moines, Iowa, hadn't heard from their brother who lives in Venice for, a week. And, he calls her every night or whatever. So they gave us permission to go force entry and make sure this old guy was okay. So we get there, and sure enough, the door's locked. I kicked the door open after, we knocked and everything. And the first thing you see is on the counter of this kitchen, there's a piece of paper, a wedding ring, a watch, a wallet. Everything's laid out, and basically it's a suicide note. And, the guy says, well, my little dog Fluffy, or whatever the dog's name had been sick for a while and finally passed away. And the depression of losing that dog was more than he could handle. So he was like, here's the phone number to my sister in Iowa. And, my will is located. Come here, Charlie. Come here. Don't take a crap on somebody's yard. Come here. Let's go this way. Gotta take a crap over here, so I'll get shot cleaning it up. And, that kind of thing. So we basically walk around the little house, and here's the guy sitting on the toilet dead. And as an interesting aside, a little bit graphic, so you might want to tell the children to leave the room. This guy had committed suicide in one of the strangest ways I've seen to this date. Clearly he had studied up on it and figured out where the femoral artery was, and he took a hacksaw and sawed through his thigh. That wasn't what was so bad about it. The worst part was you could see where at some point he realized the blade was too dull. That's dull, D-U-L-L. And he'd walked over to the laundry room, big trail of blood. You could see the pack of blades he pulled out. You see the old one covered with meat, and he puts in a new blade and commenced to finishing the job, and he just sat on the toilet so he wouldn't make a mess and bled to death. I mean, that's pretty gutsy. Pretty crazy, man. But Charlie, this way. Charlie, come here. Look. Oh, you want to go this way? Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. So, I got water for him. He ends up getting too far away now that he's getting old, and I gotta give him water. But, yeah, so this guy kills himself. And the point of the story is that at that time, and for all the way up until very recently, I always wondered. I mean, I was just like beyond dumbstruck that somebody could love a dog that much, that he would take his life. Now that, once the dog died. Now, this is not a cry for help. I'm not going to kill myself when Charlie goes. But now that Charlie is at the end of his mission, so to speak, it's got me thinking more and more, and I think about that guy. And I got to be honest, I really understand how somebody could get that traumatized over the loss of a dog, especially an old guy who's got nobody but his little dog. So all those years after that, I was like, man, what a crazy guy. And then when I got Charlie and fell in love with him, I would think of that guy from time to time, and it made more sense. And now that Charlie's on his last, part of the journey, man, I can fully understand why somebody would do something like that. I probably wouldn't opt for the hacksaw method, but got to give the guy credit, that was original. Anyways, I just thought I'd share that happy story with you. You guys go to sleep now with that on your mind. And that's it. LMS Tactical, Charlie and I are out. Charlie, don't you want to say hi to everybody? He's too busy sniffing every plant. But yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? He's peeing on every plant he sees. Look, he's just a little out of breath. Charlie, he hates looking at the camera. What are you doing? Anyways, that's it. I hope you guys are doing good. Charlie and I are signing off.